Welcome back. And as I said, this section is the last teaching for today, because maybe it's already late uh, for some people, but thank you for your patience and your effort. I hope these teachings are beneficial and gives you some consideration of how you can bring peace in, how you can help these animals who are suffering. That's really my motivation for give you this teaching. Now the next section of the prayer, I'm going to recite two verses together. Oh, great compassionate Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and protectors, we pray for those animals who live in great fear of human beings. May they be freed from people who destroy them and poison them. May they be free from. Did I recite this already? No, not yet. Okay. Destroy them and poison them. May they be freed from those who do not understand the value of their lives. Oh, great compassionate Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and protectors, please bless these creatures who are tortured, killed, and eaten alive. May they be free from their unbearable suffering of constant harm by people who lack an understanding of their actions and feel no regret whatsoever. So here we pray for, again, those animals who suffer from human beings and who lack an understanding of their action and the results of their actions, and also do not regret these negative actions. And especially, I mentioned here, people who eat animals alive without killing them. What does that mean? I saw a video of a person who, not just one person, but who sits, with all kinds of animals like this, sea animals, such as like small fish, crabs, and snails, and shrimp, and so on. I mean, they're just, and there's kind of like tiny cages, and they're there, and they're just moving around, and he sits inside of that, and then, I mean, those animals have emotions. They're aware of what's going on. So before they eat, them alive, they pray, right, as usual, and offer them to whatever. And then he pick up, um, for example, their litter, or what, I don't know the name exactly, the litter like crabs, and then little shrimps, and then he dipped them in soy sauce, and then he just, I mean, they're alive. Eats them alive. It's unbelievable. I mean, how, I mean, their heart is kind of like made of a stone. No feeling, no hard feelings. So these people really don't feel any kind of compassion for them, and they don't care about this sort of unnecessary sufferings. Uh, it's unfair. It's shocking. So I think we should not support this kind of, what do you call it, unhuman action. Yet we do support them every day without knowing, this situation, maybe. And another strange thing is, a lot of people say that I am an animal lover. At the same time, I eat meat. They say that. I mean, how can people say I'm an animal lover, but I'm happy to eat meat and enjoy it? How is that not contradictory? If you love animals, you don't want them to suffer. If you love animals, you don't eat them. So, the problem is, I think we're so addicted to meat and bad habits. That's the main reason why we eat meat. Um, and then also people say we need protein. We can't find enough protein in a vegetarian diet. That's why we need meat. Otherwise, being a vegetarian is not difficult. I think that's just an excuse, and makes them feel okay about, their decisions, and, you know, and then also, of course, there are a lot of people who eat meat without guilt and without any regret. Um, but they also hate seeing animal slaughters. Why do people love eating meat but hate the idea of killing animals? Why is it okay to eat meat but not to be cruel to these animals, right? Why do we eat animals when we don't want them to suffer? Again, how can these things not be contradictory? So I think we should be able to acknowledge these things and understand it, and then do our best. And we have plenty of other good and healthy foods because, there's so many other ways to get protein for sure. And we don't actually need to eat meat if we don't want to. If we don't want to, we don't have to eat meat if we don't want. And some people say, we human beings are supposed to eat meat. That's why cows, pigs, chickens and fish exist. Think about that. What a stupid reason. You have no ability to tell what human beings are supposed to be doing. I mean, I'm not saying you have no choice. Of course, everyone is, how do I say, allowed to make choice about what they want to eat. Um, but there are a lot of people don't know how bad it is for the animals if we eat meat. That's why I'm talking about these things. And in addition to that, people who care world peace, it's also terrible for the environment if we eat meat. I mean, that's not I know, but that's the investigators say. They say that. I believe it. And so we should understand, we should acknowledge this, understand, and investigate what is going on. If you don't think about all these situations, you don't know how these sort of, what do you call it, product get to the supermarket. I don't think we even make the connection with these things. And a lot of people don't know what is going on in the slaughterhouses. So I think it's important to watch some of these videos about animal slaughter and then make your decision. As many people know, we always say that, right? There's a very common prayer in Buddhism called the Four Measurable, which we say every day, almost every day. It says, may all sentient beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be free from suffering, the cause of suffering, right? And we should not say this prayer when we do things that are the opposite of it. Then this prayer means nothing. It doesn't feel right with me that someone has to die so badly just because I like the taste of their, meat, their flesh. Having said that, I used to love eating meat, but I felt very uncomfortable with the idea that something has to die with tremendous suffering to provide me with sort of unnecessary food. I felt really guilty as a Buddhist teacher. Um, very, what do you call it? Hypocrisy, right? I always say, if I say, like all sentient beings have happiness, cause of happiness, all this kind of to say, and then I do things opposite of, it's just not right. I never have eaten seafood in my whole life, but I also don't like the seafood industry. I went to a big seafood market in China, and it's terrible. I mean, that's why I want to really stop eating meat, but I can't because bad habits. So once I watch the videos and go to supermarket, how they, treat them, and especially the way they kill them, and they're destroying, their life. When you see it from your own eyes, you know, then it feels different, And they also destroy the beautiful oceans. So therefore, from my own experience, here I want to ask all of you with great respect, please consider how to help these animals. I'm not saying what you should do this and that. I'm not saying that, but just consider how to help these animals. Um, you can join, an animals rights group. They're wonderful people. Speak out against slaughterhouses. and the meat industry, etc. A lot of people doing it, a lot of good people doing it, but still not enough. And also, but I think the best way to help animals' life is to become a vegetarian. If you are a meat eater, if you cannot stop eating meat completely, very understandable because of the habit, not necessary to eat, but habit. Then you should reducing your meat and changing your diet will be great. Mm, it's not because it's only good for the animals, but it's it's according to these people, investigators, it's huge benefit for your health, and not only for your health, but also for the environment as well. So there's so many good reasons to become a vegetarian. And as you know, every small change makes a huge difference if you care world peace. So why not reduce meat out of your diet one day a week, for instance? If you are a meat lover and you cannot reduce meat, then I suggest you should watch the videos of animals being slaughtered and watch the documentaries about the harm within meat industry. I think it makes you very, very uncomfortable. But I think it's very important because without knowing all these stories of animals' lives and their situations and environmental impact, people don't understand what is going on. But when you see the negative stories about animal products, and when you see the videos or the pictures of animals being treated poorly, and also the environmental impact and so on and so forth, you may feel different. Still you not feel different, then I think, I don't know. What can I say? I'm not here telling you, as I said, what to do or what not to do, but it's definitely, absolutely a personal choice based on many things and many reasons. So I am asking you with my good respect, you should investigate all these situations and then make your decision wisely. As a Buddhist practitioner, we also believe future lives. Then that's also another reason to not harm these things. And especially those who are Buddhist, Mahayana practitioners, those who practice Bodhicitta, a kind mind, and those who want to follow Bodhisattvas, it's important not harm others and understand the situation. As I said before, if everyone develops a kind heart, there will be no need for weapons and bombs. We will have a peaceful world. Similarly, if everyone develops a kind heart and become a vegetarian, then There are no need to kill animals and make them suffer at all. They will have a peaceful life. Okay, now the next prayer. O great compassionate Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and protectors, please protect our planet. Okay, now we're moving from destruction and disaster. May the air be pure, the ocean clean, and the forest lush and rich in life. May we live in harmony with nature, treating it with respect and gratitude. So here we pray for protect our planet. So we're done with the second section, the animals' life, and now I'm going to talk a little bit about the planet, the environment. I think many of you are more wiser and familiar with climate change and how to create a positive relationship with the environment than I am. But here I want to talk a bit about my perspective on how spiritual practitioners should connect with the environment. And in order to protect the environment, once again, we must work with our mind. It means we have to reduce our selfishness, because I think the best way to keep and protect our planet is to live a simple life and live in harmony with each other and with other creatures, and appreciate the natural, this, what you call a cycle of life, and respect and gratitude all life with appreciation. Buddha said that living close to nature is a very healing experience and a great method. That's why the Buddha continued to live and meditate in the forest throughout his life. And he recognized everything is connected through his investigation and through his wisdom. The more he developed his wisdom and spend his life in forest and with the nature, he understood more and more we are connected. What Buddhists call dependent arising. And then after that, he explained that he did this for his own benefit and also out of compassion for the future generations like us. So that's why many, Buddhist followers, great practitioners, they spent their whole life in the forest and with the nature, this nature beauty, nature. Is good for their spiritual growth. Buddha taught that respect for life and the natural world is very, very essential, because nature is a tremendous support for the path of liberation. That's why the Buddha advised his followers to meditate in nature, enjoying the natural settings around you and understanding how dependent our lives are on the natural environment and how easily human activity negative sort of activity can damage this planet. But when you understand the value of this nature, then you respect, you develop your respect, appreciate, all that kind of thing. So that's why the dependent origination is the essence of another sort of important teachings in Buddhism. So when we talk about dependent origination, the Buddha taught two kinds of dependent origination. One kind deals with the things, the outside, the natural environment, planet or whatever. And then the other kind deals with living beings. So the main point is the Buddha said that we can't live without each other. So it is as you know, who are Buddhist, it is the essence of his teaching. So from a spiritual point of view, when we look at why we suffer, we will see two different reasons, right? First is have an interest in oneself alone, right? Second is ignoring the interest of others and harm others. That's why we suffer. When we do this, we can end up sort of causing a great deal of harm to others, which eventually will cause us suffering as well, because we are independent, or you call it in a dependent origination, dependent arising, all this connectedness, So right now we can see the damage of our, selfish interest and dissatisfied minds. As you know, I don't have to tell you this, but we have cut down forests and dumped waters into rivers and, oceans, and burned fuels that have polluted our air, all these things. We have done these things for our own happiness. We think this brings happiness, but it's not, right? That's there. We can see it. And we have Buddha, said, but we, of course, we have not been thinking about all this interconnectedness in our world and how these actions are harming, our planet and other beings who live on this planet. So this is a selfish sort of relationship. Instead, we need to have a relationship based on love, appreciation, respect. Think of all the amazing things the earth has given us. Our food, our home, our clothes, our comfort, enjoyment, so on and so forth. It's such a blessing, and we need to appreciate these kind of things and learn to be satisfied with what we have and not continuing to take more than we need. And instead, we can also learn to give back. Nature has nurtured us for so many years. Now we must learn to nurture it as well and treat it with respect and appreciation. So we will never be able to overcome these challenges we face with our environment if our mind is full of desire and selfishness. So, we will only be able to truly live in harmony with our world when we can learn to practice satisfaction, appreciation, and a kind mind. That's the foundation. So I think we have to take responsibility for ourselves, for our actions. And I think the only option to protect our world, our planet, is to transform human activity and our relationship with nature. But, without satisfaction and appreciation in our minds, I think it's difficult to transform our activities and live a simple life with a kind mind and living in harmony with other creatures and acting out of compassion for the earth, learn to appreciate this interconnectedness is the essence of Buddhist teachings. So keep that in your mind. Now the next section of the prayer says, "Oh, great compassionate Buddha, Bodhisattvas, and protectors, hear our desperate prayers. We pray for world peace. Let us grow with unity, where everything is a source of enjoyment. Please lead us to live in one world of harmony and freedom, or freedom for all." So here we have finished the three sections on humans, animals, and nature, and we are praying for world peace here. So we are gathering together here and talking about world peace today, because the world is not peaceful. It's very complex. As I said, there are wars and poverty, There is this discrimination. So these issues are very big and they're very complex. It's just, when you think about it, it's just overwhelming. But we all wish and want to take good care of this world. When we think about world peace, while there are many of us who care deeply, deeply about the world, but it's hard to know how we can help and what we can do to make a difference. So I think we need to ask ourselves how to build peace in our lives and the world around us, and what we can do to make a difference based on our capacity, then take that action. The good thing is that, everyone can do something to make a difference. We have that capacity as a human being, In order to bring peace and make change in the world, I think it's always good to start with ourselves, not just to look outside. How can I control this and bring peace into the world? I think we start with ourselves, which is working with our mind first, what bodhisattvas do, because it will help us be more patient, more compassionate, and it will help us be more focused. It will help us engage with the challenging people. So we need a peaceful mind in order to bring peace into this world. And in order to develop a peaceful mind, we need to practice a kind heart. And in order to practice a kind heart, we need a very simple life, not complex life. And living simple life will help us have fewer desires and distractions. And living a simple life will help us reduce a lot of things that can harm others and harm the environment. And living a simple life will help us focus on what is important in our lives and the world that we are living. And living a simple life will help us have less desire and attachment, because attachment brings all other negative emotions, such as, dissatisfaction, anger, jealousy, stress, worry, and so on and so forth. All these harmful actions. So once we have a peaceful mind and simple life, then we're ready to act for world peace. So, for example, you can become a vegetarian and inspire other people to become a vegetarian. You don't have to control others' life. You can't, but just inspire others' life. You can join a public teaching and meditation about this kind of world peace. You can, of course, educate others on how to bring peace and happiness. You can educate others like how we treat as human beings, treat animals' life. You can educate it that, you can join and create sort of, I'm thinking, these things, celebrations for world peace, human rights, animal rights, social justice, all these things so important. Treat all people and animals with your kindness and compassion. You can teach about how to develop a calm, happy mind to, your children and your grandchildren. You can teach them how to be kind to animals. You can teach them how to take care of environment, you can teach them, how important it is. You can do so many things in order to bring peace into this world. We're still not hopeless. So a peaceful world does not just happen to us. We need to create a peaceful world. The foundation of world peace is calm and compassionate mind. In order to have a calm and compassionate mind, satisfaction, simple life is very. Once you have a simple life, you have a kind mind, you're ready, you have a capacity, you're ready to act. You can do more things for the world. So we all have the root of compassion that desires all sentient beings be free from suffering. We already have this great root within us, but it's need to be developed, because we have all this negative influence, control our mind. So we have to develop it. So I think we should do something every day that helps us develop more compassion and brings peace and freedom to this world. So, take some action for peace and justice and freedom, and we can do so many things if we want, I think. Now the next prayer. Oh, great compassionate Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and protectors, through your blessings, may the minds of all beings be filled with love. Let the dignity of all lives be honored and dispel every evil activity. May there always be forgiveness and free us from outer and inner conflict. Then the next one, I must say, O great compassionate Buddha, Bodhisattva, and protector, we pray with confident faith and devotion. Inspire us with your blessings. Let us practice this prayer together. Eliminate the darkness of the world. May this prayer of inspiration be beneficial to all and its power last forever. That's my hope and motivation. So here, again, we pray for world peace, right? And human dignity. Human beings are the only living beings that can develop their precious minds and have the ability to attain the fruition of their spiritual path through the recognition of their basic goodness. But right now we are in danger of losing this precious human life and opportunity to recognize our basic goodness. We are not safe, we are in danger. Human beings, the human nature, not just human nature, animal nature, environmental nature, whatever, all these precious, right, and unique natures are more polluted and contaminated than before. I mean, as they say, this is true. And if we continue sort of behaving with such negative actions, if we don't sort of control or subdue negative actions, then we're going to lose all these beautiful natures. As I said, human nature, animal nature, environmental nature, we're going to lose it. We all see political leaders ready to fight. We see that. They're preparing strong weapons, ready to kill each other and destroy this world. We see it. They can destroy the whole world within a short period of time. And then we're going to lose all of this good fortune, precious nature, and dignity. So, human beings are very unique and special. If we properly sort of train and develop our minds through these precious teachings, we can work for all beings with kindness rather than causing disaster in this world. So in such a crucial time, the most important thing to do is practice genuine teachings. All these precious teachings that have come from great spiritual beings can guide us and show us the correct path to live in peace, freedom, and harmony. Then everyone can live, work together with respect, harmony, understanding, and dignity. So the main purpose of Buddhism is to encourage ordinary human beings to develop good qualities they already have through mental training. So if we follow this sort of guidelines of great teachings, we will be able to eliminate negative emotions such as anger, hatred, and jealousy, all these causes. This practice can help us manage stress and anxiety, suffering. We will be able to behave properly, and we will be able to dispel all evil activities. These teachings give us such guidance. We must develop our human capacities for the good and well-being of humanity and our world. We have to cultivate and develop our human nature, compassion, and kindness in order to achieve and bring peace and freedom to this world. It has been clearly mentioned in the Buddhist teachings that the purpose of our precious life is not just selfish aggrandizement, but the purpose of our life is serving others, serving our world, and developing our human nature. Because amazingly, when we serve others with the kindness, we serve ourselves. When we eliminate others' sufferings, our own happiness and kindness increase. It's absolutely true. That is the result of helping others, not destroying others. It also will continue to be the cause of serving humanity and other living beings. For this reason, we must do all the good things we can while we are fortunate enough to work intelligently and serve all beings, especially powerless, those animals. As you know, Buddhism does not believe that you can achieve your goals by only saying some prayers and making offerings and supplications to the Buddhas. Because, you know, look at the Buddha, Shakyamuni, the founder of the Buddhism himself. Look at himself and what he did. people who don't understand, they blame on Buddha. Oh, he left from his family. He left. He has a son. He left his wife. What a person, right? But his plan, his motivation is bigger than his wife, bigger than his child. He worked very hard for his own progress and achievement of his goal. And then what the result you can see now, these teachings. So we cannot expect good results from only saying some prayers, okay? Enlightenment cannot be achieved without effort, without action. We must work for it. We must use our own efforts. So, that's very important. But unfortunately, for many of us, our mind is kind of diluted by misunderstandings and selfishness, even though all of us have the ability to attain enlightenment. That's why all these Buddhist mental trainings are really necessary and very important. It's because success will only come to us if we act properly and take this Fugar's path and follow our spiritual teachings. And as I said, if you want to bring peace and freedom to this world, first study it with yourself. Calm your mind. Develop your compassion. Do the prayers properly. Become a vegetarian. Live your life a simple way. Save animals' lives when you have the opportunity. Speak out against slaughterhouses and educate your family and friends, as I said. Respect human nature, animal nature, the nature of environment. There is a God. There's some people they sacrifice their life and they, because they speak out against the slaughterhouse and they put them in jail, one after another, but they never give up, right? They're the good example of human beings. So these are the things we can do for world peace. That's all. And I hope these ideas will inspire you a little bit, and I hope you will take some action for peace and justice, especially do something behalf of these powerless animals. Yeah, that's all. I think that's all. We're done. The last thing we have here is what do you call it? Colophon, right? Which is why I composed this world peace prayer and when I wrote it, etc. So that is written by Khenpo Sherab for world peace in February of 2024 2024 to quell the selfishness, wars, and natural disasters and diseases that are causing widespread suffering throughout our world. That's the reason why I composed this prayer. So I don't have any power, but I had a good motivation. So also may these words be blessed, by Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, my lineage, the protectors, so that this prayer will bring a kind mind, happiness, well-being to every land, every countries, all the animal realm, so that they have a peaceful life, so that they don't have to be fear from human beings and suffering, all kinds of suffering, right? So that's the motivation. So that's all. Om Shanti Shanti Maha Shanti Soha. Thank you very much for being here today. And I hope, as I said, these sort of ideas, inspires you, and so that you will take some good actions. Don't expect too big, but just start with small actions with yourself, so that the younger generation inspires and they do same thing. And then we have a peaceful world. That's why I'm going to end up this mantra, Om Shanti Shanti Maha Shanti Soha. Now we can dedicate and say the dedication prayers here. Thank you so very much. That's all.
Closing prayers. May I attain in each and every life the sublime virtues of existence and peace. May I pursue the flawless mindset of altruism, working for the welfare of others on a vast scale. Through this very merit of mine, may every single sentient being eliminate all forms of negativity and practice virtue forevermore. May supreme precious Bodhicitta take birth where it has not arisen. Where it has arisen, may it never wane, but continue to grow forevermore. For as long as space exists, for as long as beings endure, until then may I too remain to dispel the suffering of all beings. May I in all my lives, no matter where I am born, obtain the 7 qualities of the upper realms of existence. May I meet the Dharma immediately after taking birth and have the freedom to practice perfectly. May I please the sublime gurus and day and night dedicate myself to the Dharma. By realizing the Dharma and practicing its innermost essence, may I cross the ocean of conditioned existence in this very life. May I teach the sublime Dharma perfectly and never become weary and tired of benefiting others in samsara. By my own impartial and all-encompassing activities to benefit others, may all attain enlightenment together. The melody of immortality, a prayer for longevity. Free in the divine mandala where all that appears and exists is utterly pure. You, the sovereign of all the Buddha families and teacher of the Tantras, mature and liberate the 3 gates into their Vajra nature. Vajra King, may you ever remain. Within the Vajra body, you reveal the mandala of the great bliss of the indestructible 3 secrets. Most supreme of all, Lord of the Vajra transmission, Vajra Master, may you remain for 100 eons. Through the effortless path, you directly reveal unchanging self-awareness, the basic space of great bliss. Caring for the profound key instructions of perfection, glorious Guru, may you remain until the end of existence. Precious successor to the Gurus of the 3 lineages, may you remain throughout the 3 times in Vajra form, forever hoisting the great banner of the Dharma of the 3 lineages throughout the 3 realms.